fellow marketers, Professor Wolters here, and today we're here in Des Moines, Iowa, and today we're going to talk about our ways you can optimize mobile browsing on your website, because as much as we want to think that people are looking at our website on a desktop or while they're sitting at their desk or they're at home working, look, most of the time we're scrolling through our phones, right? We're checking things out on social media. We're going online, looking things on here when we're watching TV. We might have a computer at work, but we're still checking things on our phone or a tablet. And the thing is, you have to realize is mobile marketing is growing super fast. I mean, it has been and it will continue to be and become the de facto kind of marketing tool, as being things ready to be watched and read and felt and heard on a mobile device. And so what that means is we can have more personalized content, more things that could be, read and people will actually read and take in, because let's be honest, who's the one person you never leave home without, that if you forget, you freak out and go back and get them right away? Your phone. Because your kids, if your kid's on the skateboard going by, you're like, oh yeah, well, whatever, he'll be fine. But in reality, the mobile phone is the thing that's the most important to people. And so we need to make sure we're tailoring our marketing efforts to look good on mobile. Because if you can't read it on mobile, it's gonna be a disaster. I mean, how many of you have gone to a website on your phone and you can't read it? The font is too small, you can't fill out the forms, you can't make out what it says. They have a phone number there, but you can't call it because it's just text. Oh, these things can be very frustrating for people. So I'm gonna give you some advice on ways that you can optimize for mobile. And it starts with a different mentality. You cannot think like a desktop. You cannot think scrolling left to right and reading. You have to think up and down scrolling. That's how you have to think. So when you're creating your website, when you're putting your pictures together, when you're putting the text together, the infographics, make sure it's an easy format that can roll up and roll down, slide up and slide down, scroll up and scroll down, because that's how people read from their phone and their mobile devices. And sometimes what some companies will do is they'll actually have a mobile site. So they have a desktop site and then a mobile site. And I can understand why they do that, but what you have to realize is if someone likes to do something on desktop and they try to do it on mobile, it's not there, it's gonna be very frustrating, and vice versa. For example, with YouTube, when I go on desktop, I get a lot of different analytics than I get from their YouTube Studio app, and it's frustrating. Okay, so you wanna make sure, if I'm gonna do this, is everything going to be available on the desktop and the mobile app? If not, make sure you're creating that website that can work in mobile or in desktop, because you really want to make sure, especially on mobile, you have your most popular content easily accessible, easily readable, easy to get to, versus desktop, because you can click, but on your phone, it's not so easy to click, especially when you've got pop-ups, you got ads, you got all kinds of other stuff going on. Because just think about the forms you have to fill out if you're going to buy something online. It's such a pain. I mean, my wife will search everything on her phone, and then when it comes to putting the credit card in, she goes to, the desktop to do it instead of her phone, because, oh, this is annoying. You want to really think about that. Make sure you make it easy for people to give you the information that you need. So one of the things that you started to see to make mobile kind of communication and mobile business a little bit easier is you're starting to see things change around about. You're seeing more audio content. Yes, podcasts are fantastic, and putting podcasts out to explain your business, to explain your products, your employees, your clients, your customers, they can learn about these things while they're going to work, while they're going for a run, while they're playing golf, or whatever. They're laying in bed, they can learn from that audio content. So make sure you have that, because podcasts are a lot easier to kind of take in than it is to kind of read through. Another thing you need to do to optimize mobile is make sure you have social media share buttons everywhere. Down below, there's a share button here. You can click share, and it'll let you share on Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, wherever. Go do that. Share this video on your social media and see what happens. You want to make sure your content is available to be shared no matter where. You may say, well, we only use Facebook. Who cares? Make sure it can be shared on Twitter, on Instagram, on LinkedIn, wherever people want to share it, because that's helping getting your word out, okay? Helping share your information. Because sometimes what you're gonna see is people will actually be sending themselves links to your website. You may think they already found us. Yeah, but you know what? I can't remember, or I don't know the website, so I can just email it to myself to look for it later. So just have those social buttons, those sharing buttons, copy this, email this, have that on all your pages. Now, I know I've talked about how hard it is to read some of those forms. If you're gonna be using forms on your mobile, make sure you're not asking too many questions. What do you really need from them? Do you just need their email to get them on the email list, or do you really need their name, phone number, and all those things? Really be specific with what you ask so you have less forms for them to fill out, because the less clicking and scrolling they have to do, the more likely they're going to fill it out. If I have to click, scroll back, figure out where it is, you're going to lose people. Remember, every extra click that they have to go is another client you're going to lose. And two of the really simple things you could do right now to make it easier on your mobile site for your clients. One, make sure you have a click to call option. If your phone number is on there, make sure it's an option that people can click on it and it'll go straight to their phone to call, right? So it just pops up. Kind of like when you want to order pizza on Domino's, you click the button, it shows up on your Android, it shows up on your iPhone. You want to have that. And what's great is you can link that. So if people want to learn more about your weed whacking products, they get the weed whacking phone number. If they want to learn more about their artwork projects, they can go to the artwork phone number and go straight there. So you can really tailor it and they can be in contact with you sooner via the mobile app. And the second thing I want to talk about is just making your emails easily readable. Now, I'm not saying like your content inside the email, that's up to you, but you want to have make sure you have a clear subject line. What is it about? None of this, hello, how are you? That's going straight to spam. I'm not opening that up. Make sure you're making it so it's clear what the subject is. Also, your name, it should say, Mark Wolters, not Pref Wolters, marketing guru, blah, blah, blah. No, Mark Wolters. Make it a professional email so it comes up and they understand that, hey, this is a legit email with legit subject line. All right, let's do it. Because you want to make sure it's obvious who it's from, because if it's not, a lot of times it'll go straight to spam or the other folder, or people just go, I don't know who that is. It's kind of like if one of your friends calls you from a different phone number, you're like, I don't know that number, don't answer it. The same thing happens with your email, okay? So I hope this helps you give a few ideas on how to optimize your website and all your stuff for mobile a little bit better so you can get more bang for your buck with your marketing dollar. So if you want to learn more, we got plenty of videos to help you out, and I'll say bye from here in Des Moines, Iowa.